What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel. Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city. So you were, and so you weren't. Behold, there we are. Meet my other half, hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead. Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek. So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed. But to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow. Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistae, they'd have gotten the better of us by now. Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The Orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's already choking throat, and it shows no signs of abating. We've cordoned off the western beach where most Orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Maybe they're after some pirate's treasure, the fools. A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts, a shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss such a curious event out of hand. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking a feline guise?
Who would trust a 2-bit love potion out of a backstage circular from youthful gore?
Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate speech, perhaps humanity's greatest asset, cannot give expression to something so inextricably innate, to be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your witness. You couldn't possibly imagine the thrill. But of course it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of two worlds.
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a backstage circular from youthful gore?
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all.
What is that sketch like you can deny it to love?
An orc in love. Ha! When this little charm...
I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Feel free to visit me whenever you want. I've set up a workshop in the Legion's headquarters. Once you're there, just take the stairs, but do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Sicil. And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove to be mere mice, and you the dauntless mouser.
Sex, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Ahu mentioned?
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a backstage circular from youthful gore?
We need more help or she's lost! We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbour! We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbour!
God sweep upon the earth! Sodom all the way to my fruit zone!
Save that ship all by your lonesome. Quite the feat. If I had the magic touch about me, I'd have lent you my hand too. I thought the old gal's fate was sealed when the orc shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails. But you managed to rescue her from a watery grave. Closest thing to a miracle I...
Start earning an extra gold piece an hour, I'll walk out that door.
Good on you. These boss men respect confidence, you know. So what did he say?
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day. All hail the rain spirit. That was a fine display of magicianship, it was. Arhu knew what he was doing, bringing in a source hunter. I thought the old girl's fate was sealed when the orc shaman said...
I don't know how you did that, hocus pocus, but boy, am I grateful. Nothing worse than seeing a fine vessel like that disappear beneath the waves. I thought the old gal's... I said myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece, I'll walk out.
Good on you.
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Sauce? Here in Sicil? Nah. Of all the cursed stunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one. Never been homesick a day in me life, until I sailed to Sicil. Here, Fancy a sip, Skipper? You deserve it.
Silver planets in square aspect suggest a struggle within you. The signs are unclear. Tell me, have you felt Draconis Major interfering with your movement phase in the past fortnight? Now, there's that famous Scorpius temper of yours.
Size seal, shiver me timbers and sliver me...
I'm seeing 2 feet approaching me and... Here you are! My powers astound even me. I'm Bull, the leading clairvoyant in Seal. The 2 feets never bother to ask, but I see all that is and is to be. Of course, most winsome 2 feet, of course. What would you like to know? Well, that depends, 2 feet. That depends. I see that love has caused you to falter in the past. Yes, falter dearly. You must reconcile your mistakes before you will find true love. Why, yes, most wealthy indeed. But you must be vigilant, 2 feet. For I see that your wealth will come by bloody means. Death. Ever the most difficult topic to foretell. I see... Oh dear. No. No. Your reading is over. Do you hear? Over. And that's all for today. Bull's tired now. Yes, very tired. That's all.
Well, tuck my tail and call me Bessie. A 2 feet address me directly? Huh, I thought I'd never see the day. Don't know what you said to upset Bull, but don't worry about it too much. Being in tune with the flow of time takes a lot out of him. Oh, me and my brother Bull have dragged this here cart all around Seal, from dock to graveyard and back again. Don't know what you said to up.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Feddle's carriage for the joyride?
No, it ain't. He drove it straight to the bubble track.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the lizard councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to your door anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that engineer really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I wouldn't let all wig 500 yards of my loving nature.
Psst. Ever hear about the time the captain took
a home, a livelihood, all sunk in a matter of minutes while we could do nothing but look on. Well, we were merchants what seems like a moment ago. With our ship sunk, we're little more than 3 men with nothing more to say than boo. These damn orcs. They can't keep off this place for the life of them. They came in here slinging fireballs and swinging swords. Wasn't a thing we could do to defend ourselves. That was a right stunning show of magic you pulled, it was. Wish you'd have been around when our own barge went down in flames. With our ship gone, nothing for it but to get a job. Slim pickings around here, that's for sure. Maybe you can keep an eye out, though. Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything, really.
Have you found us a job yet? Well, we were merchants, what seems to be these bleeding all. Well, you never know when something might turn up. Keep an eye out. That was a right stunning...
Have you found us a job? Well, we were... these bleed... Well, you never... That was a right...
No, it ain't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Sauce? Here? Inside Seal? That was some fast acting there. Many thanks on behalf of all us seamen. Who knows if it's even over for sure? Those damn orcs keep sending us these terrible surprises. Oh, and don't forget the time he got...
Sauce? Here, a ship's got a soul too, you know. You did a mighty fine thing saving that barge. For those of us raised in crews instead of families, it's kin to saving a fellow man. Who knows if it's even over for sure?
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a lum note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail the Yuthel door anymore?
Speaking of yours, here, that was some fast acting. Who knows?
Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh winds of Sicile?
The captain took the Duchess of...
Name's Conrad. Cargo trader, sea captain, an expert in all things nautical. Folks across Andervale know to give old Conrad a holler when it comes to rare imports and magical items. Those orcs must be out of their barbarous minds launching an attack on a city where a great wizard resides. Though even I must admit they put up a hearty effort. I'll tell you, the only time I'd consider waging a suicide campaign like that would be if whatever I sought was something worth dying over.
Ha! Now it in. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Is that Bertie still
and
right?
don't forget the time he got
Yes,
caught
sir.
passing
As
a lum
fine
note
a
to the Lizard
specimen as
Councillor's
one of her
wife.
stock, sir.
Is that why we never sail the Yuthel door anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it all within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Bevel's carriage for the joyride?
Really? The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope?
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a lum note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail the Yuthel door anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm
Steady, boys, steady.
Well,
We'll be leaving
you see,
as soon as we're
the
packed
gold
up.
and silver planets and square aspect suggest a struggle within.
Fancy a sip, skipper? You'll dis...
Tell me, have you felt
Yes, I'm sure. Tell it to mind and don't mess with us.
Shiver me timbers and sliver me
was that
heels.
famous Scorpius temple?
I can't even smell the sea air over this rock.
Halt! These gates are to remain closed at all times. Captain's orders. Wait a second. Well, I'll be a little red imp's uncle, the Source Hunter. Sorry for the gruff treatment. I didn't recognise you right away. Please tell me, how can I aid the investigation? You can see security's tighter than ever around here since that surprise attack the Orcs put on a fortnight ago. They did enough damage to shake up Ahu and Captain Aureus something fierce. We can only hope to hold back the undead and these left-field Orc attacks long enough for reinforcements to arrive.
size seal, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Courteous, proud protector of this house of Legion goods. Courteous is my name, the Legion is my calling. This is a storing house for Legion supplies, perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Courteous, have been trusted to guard it.
Well, a source hunter. A very hearty welcome to our humble warehouse. Have a look around. And don't mind if I pick your brain about the scoop around Undervale. I'm behind on my current affairs. I tell you, this gig sure beats getting my toes bitten off by zombies out in the field. We warehouse guards don't have to do much apart from stroll the perimeter a few times an hour. And, of course, every now and again, some friendly folks, like yourself, will wander through here. And nothing beats a pleasant conversation, though my comrade Horatius has quite different opinions on that matter. Have you talked to him? Thinks every man, woman and child who steps foot in this place wants to rob it blind. If I so much as greet a townsperson with a hello instead of a state your purpose, he starts frothing on and on about guardly duty and security breaches. This Jake business is quite the scandal, no? I myself suspect his wife, Esmeralda, and the butcher seconds that, let me tell you. Then again, and you didn't hear this from me, he's going through quite the nasty divorce himself, and there's his children to consider. But I imagine his youngest, Kimberly, won't mind. Never did get on well with her mother ever since the incident. Oh, it's an unparalleled pleasure having a fresh ear around here.
Keep your pleasantries to yourself. What are you doing inside this warehouse, snooping around? If it's conversation you're looking for, I'd recommend my comrade Florius, or as I prefer to call him, Loose Lips McGee. As for myself, my job is to protect this warehouse, not chit-chat with intruders. That idiot man-child would sooner spend an hour chatting up a thief than a minute arresting him. I only hope he gets transferred out of this warehouse and straight to the perimeter. Let him rot off as zombies here instead of even thinking of him turns one into a gabbing hen. Please, leave me be.
Report!
Nothing to report, sir.
You never have anything to report.
Isn't that a good thing?
Well, a source hunter. About time the council took us seriously. Maybe you can start with the two idiots hiding their pet orc here.
A fly, and I won't let you hurt a horn on her head.
Who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile, but my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her.
Maybe before the great orc raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions. But now we're needed at our posts. I can hardly believe I've been wasting time protecting an orc when I should be running them through.
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed a woman's touch in quite some time now. It makes him a bit edgy.
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw shanked brutally through the throat. I'll take my chances as a bachelor, thanks.
My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, as long as eternity, we locked eyes. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those vicious marauders.
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds?
I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity that could change my life, I had to act fast or lose the once-in-a-lifetime deal. I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only, and it has worked exactly as promised.
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilized monster into our midst to boot.
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be everlasting, as printed.
You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to shave him from his murderous darling.
Agreed. I've never met an orc I trusted, charmed or not.
Glad to hear I'm not the only one with common sense around here. I'll do the honors myself.
No! She's harmless! Please! You bastard! You had no right!
No right to protect not only you from your own stupidity, but myself and the citizens of Sicil as well.
It's you we need protection from, murderer. Fortunately, the Wizards of Youthful Gore make a revenge elixir that will show you what's what.
Go ahead and throw your sugar water on me if you like. Your foolishness is no longer my problem. Thank you, stranger. If you ever need help, I'll do my best to repay you.
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all. Thank you for talking some sense into that knucklehead. That she-beast would have been the death of us.
Back again? Got any juicy stories for eager ears, That fusspot said what? Well, old Loose Lips will let that lowly backbiter know what he thinks about that. So, something you'd like to say to my face?
I haven't a thing to say to you. I'm on duty.
This place reeks of orc stench.
Put up your fists.
Are you mad? We're guards, not drunks on the street.
Enough! What is this barbarism? Back to your post at once!
Sir,
One day,
this is an
Moira.
important
One
matter.
day you'll
A
show
matter
'em
of
all.
honour.
Such matters are to be settled on your own time. Understood?
Understood, sir.
Such bickering is all that thieves need to sneak by unnoticed.
It
One
won't
day,
happen again,
Moira.
sir.
One day you'll
Better
show
now
'em
will
all.
not. Salutations! Source!
That old spoilsport Horatius can gripe.
You've caused enough distractions. You've caused it.
What does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
Plenty of fish in the sea.
You're a source hunter, aren't you? They say you can talk to animals, but I, for one, won't be falling for such a tall tale. Know much about zombies, do you? How about walking? Oh, it never ends around here. There's a zombie in my garden. My sheep is missing. An orc ate my baby. Night and day and night. You're a source.
You're a source hunter, aren't you? Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of these fish, would you?
Borrow, indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear. Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicil began. Still, that doesn't waive a man's need to eat, you know. I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times, but what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, I'll choose steal. So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
I'm sure this one little fish won't starve the merchant. He should take the fish.
Tomatoes? Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
All right, we'll do it your way.
That's the spirit! Or should I say, the soul?
Sir, did you just steal that fish?
No, I paid for it. The merchant just left, but I paid. I paid before.
You were a witness to this event now? Tell me what happened.
Quite so. I saw him pay the merchant.
I can't thank you enough for your, discretion. I'll be going now.
Well, sorry to have bothered you then, sir. Carry on.
That thief is free for now, but I wonder how long it'll be until his growling belly seduces him back onto the crooked path. I can understand your sympathy for that man, but feeding him for one day will hardly remedy his circumstances. You would have done better to help him more substantially than by covering up a single petty theft.
Oh, hello, love. Nice day for a little...
Sorry, but I haven't the time for chatter.
These days, a moment's inattention is all a thief needs to... The dead are on the prowl, the council has been murdered, and now source hunters are encouraging petty theft. The few honest amongst us are swimming against the stream, I'll tell you what. Sorry, but I haven't the time for chatter.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Paint a big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Not the mood for cheese. This gives us more home than the slice of this fine pork.
Red
What
and
are ye
orange.
staring at? Captain Jack's the name, though the title may be a little generous at the moment. My crew ran off, and I can't find enough hearty souls to help me reload the ship and sail off. Those scallywags heard there be silver in the Lacula mines, and they abandoned ship like the lily-livered turkeys they are. Haven't seen them since the day we docked. Some poor chaps lost their ship and want some work. Just send them to me, and tell them there's a bit of coin and a lot of rum coming their way if they don't mind a bit of honest leap. What are ye staring at?
About time the council took notice of us. You here for the bone rattlers or the club way?
Sheep's cheese.
What do you have? I got white cheese, blue cheese, old cheese, new cheese.
Herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Hello, proportionate one. I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no? I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at heart. You might think there isn't enough work for one of my talents in a downtrodden city like Sisio, and you'd be quite right. I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new subjects to add to my litany of lovely portraits and complex maps. Like this rooster I'm working on now, and the landscape that surrounds him.
That rooster thinks he's such hot stuff, posing for Jerome like that. Someone ought to tell him his waddle waggles when he crows, same as the rest.
Praise be that Ahu the wizard built those newfangled weapons of his. Sisal would have long been overrun by undead if it wasn't for them contraptions.
That rooster
Don't talk to me. You're making me lose focus. Can't you see I'm busy modeling? Obviously, someone's plumage isn't magnificent enough to inspire genius. All those naysayers in the past, see what I've become. Hundreds of years from now, people will wonder, who is that cook? It must have been a grand cook, so inspired.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of...
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. Now that the herd's gone, old Bertie's just scratching by like a hen till the next batch of beasties comes through. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days.
Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced. Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Was planning to cook her into a fine midwinter night haggis myself. Do tell me if you hear anything about her. I plan on pursuing whoever stole her with my cleaver in hand. Sorry, can't help you there. Haven't got enough livestock left to warrant a hand with the work.
Oh, no, noble friend. Your upper chakras are in desperate need of a good scrubbing. Fortunately for you, my homebrewed tinctures will do the job. Or if you're in the mood for something a bit more electrifying, one of my air scrolls might give your system just the shock it needs.
Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of the plumpest produce ever produced.
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Those dark-robed nuts really ruffle my feathers.
Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and
My
this I have
word!
heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had
My
a great
word!
thirst for colour.
By the seven!
So
What a
ardent did he
tale!
of creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm. Today, I think, a king, the great Sigurd.
This show is worth the hype.
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. And look, there stands the world-famous Reginald the Entertainer. Better check it out if you don't want to miss the time of your life. What are you looking at me?
Don't ask me what the tale's about. I'm just here for the eye candy.
This show is worth the hype.
In Andavale!
Fantastic! I'll figure out who murdered Jake before the day's through. Just you wait. Detective Kip is on the case.
Holy sentient severed head!
Fantastic! My word! Ha!
Today, I
word!
think, a king, the great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had...
You there! Take a seat! Prepare to laugh your head off, cry your eyes out, and teeter on the edge of your seat with an original tale from Stefan, the talking severed head. I am Reginald the Illusionist, purveyor of the most amazing artifact in Andavale. This fantastical talking head. Catch the act while you can. This show will only remain in Sicil as long as there are Legion soldiers to entertain. That's right, a talking head. And he doesn't just talk. He'll weave you a yarn so fantastic, you'll be begging to hear just one more, and just one more. It's quite a story how I found him, too. I obtained this curio by some rather sensational means. You see, I was diving in search of a rare medicinal sea herb. I volunteer at the local children's apothecary on weekends, in the shallows around Sicil's own Black Cove, when I spotted something amazing. The chest belonging to the fabled Captain Pontius. Though the chest was stuck fast, I summoned a swell of great strength and prized it free from the ancient rock. I had the treasure of a lifetime in my very hands, but then, slurp, gulp, I was swallowed by an ornery kraken that seemed to appear from nowhere. In the hubbub, I lost hold of my prize and watched it sink to the bottom of the beast's cavernous belly. Still, I feared only for a moment that all was futile. Before my mind's eye swam the faces of the many war widows and necrotic orphans who would be lost without my charitable support. I knew I had to live.
Ah! My word!
Fantastic! Grabbing fast to the hilt of a cutlass that floated by at just that moment, I summoned all my strength to slash a great gash in the creature's gut.
Bravo! Bravo!
Freeing myself from my would-be tomb, I swam as quickly as I could, first to the surface and then to the shore. It was there, along the rocky beach, that I tripped over this talking head. Strange, isn't it?
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Autographs will have to wait until the end. I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan, the only sentient severed head in Sicile. My audience sings my praises from hill and dale. Psst, you're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, bless the seven. Look, you've got to help me. I've been kidnapped. Pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything.
Fantastic! You there! You
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Patience. Pleasure to meet.
My word!
And who are you supposed to be? Oh, I should have been one of the greats. But here I am gathering peasants to watch peasants perform broadside pageants for peanuts. No, really? I hadn't noticed. If not for this ridiculous condition, you'd know me as the king's favourite thespian. Don't you have an impressive library here in Sicile? I'm sure that beast of a librarian could rustle something up for you. Take it up with Katerina. She's the master of this pig circus after all. You there! Sit! Stay a while. Right in front. I'll excite you. I'll delight you. I'll beguile you. I'll besmile you. I'm Cedric the Sensational, and I'm playing to an empty audience. Don't pity me. No, sir. Just a few years ago, I was the all-singing, all-dancing, all-sensational darling of the town. People came from far and wide just to witness my amazing act. When Reginald came, he brought some fantastic prop with him. Now, have you seen it? A talking head! Now, I never expected a silly gimmick like that to be my main competition. It seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that hack's little gizmo. I'm a man of skill, sleight of hand, feats of wit, and pure entertainment. This curio is ruining what used to be an art. And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has at least one fan calling bravo and hee-haw. Sure as the sun sets, that one devotee attracts 5 more, and those 5 more all curious about the commotion. I don't know how he inspires such loyalty with less talent contained between his hat and his boots than I've in my crusty handkerchief.
Can't you hear the stage calling you? Come on! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
Ah, cool foot.
Performers, showmen, show all of them. Sight seal what you're made of.
Ah, a familiar face. Come, watch the show. I promise it'll take your mind off beheading baddies, or whatever.
Show all of them. Sight seal what you're made of. Beer of flatulence.
Fantastic.
Zombie ate your dog? Orc sunk your ship? No matter! You're at Katerina's Fair, a veritable summer home for troubled minds. Won't you take a seat and let our esteemed entertainers whisk you off to a better place? Well, I'm Katerina the Fair, fairest first lady of the fair, of course. I do love making the acquaintance of my patrons, and who knows which of them might become one of my performers. I've an open stage in want of talent, and I've often found the best young performers among the rank and file of the audience. The theatre's fever has overcome you, has it? Marvellous! I do so love a fresh green talent ready to bloom. But I support players, not writers, you see. If you want to perform here, you'll have to find tried and true material. Check the library and see if any of the classics there interest you. I'd love to see a Source Hunters take on one of the old standards.
By the 7! What a tale!
So ardently did he crave creamy blues.
What are you looking at me for? Oh, I'm nothing but your average man taking in the best show I've ever seen. I'm amazed and astounded that for a meager gold coin or two, I can take in this first-rate entertainment all day long. Well, I've stumbled into quite the fine gig. I just let my appreciation for Reggie's work be known, and he slips me a few gold coins in return. My voice happens to carry pretty far. Cecile hears me. Cecile wants to see what the fuss is all about. And let me tell you, this amazing show just can't be beat.
Fantastic.
What are you looking at me for? Well, I've
I
contest across his realm.
Back for more, I see. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. What with Stefan rattling up...
Bravo, bravo!
Back for more, I see. Well, I am Reginald the Illusionist. Ha! Yes, I know of that talentless bull. He was here entertaining the troops before I was brought in. I'm sure the hack simply bored his audience to tears until they cried for a replacement. Enter Reginald the Illusionist. We need our boys in red happy, relaxed, and ready to fight. Not wasting their energies cringing at a fool with a depressed rabbit in a borrowed hat. That's right, a talking head. And he does, that's right, a talking head. Are you impressed by my prowess in the arts of entertainment? Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. And that crowd warmer has increased my profits by 60%, simply by showing a little honest appreciation for our show.
What's that nutter in the back hollering?
What's that nutter in the back hollering about? I can hardly hear the show. What's that nut?
I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself.
You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Ah, a familiar face. Come, watch the show. Don't pity when wretched. It seems and even I don't know how he... a person whose sole job is to praise the performance and stir a crowd. A genius invention. No wonder Reginald has had such success. I knew his act couldn't have outshone mine on its merits alone. Please, you must hire him for me. Imagine the scowl on that conman's face when my rightful audience returns to me. A must-see event. Ah, a familiar face.
You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
My word! Tricks of the
My
kids!
word!
This here back for more, I see! Well, I can't say I'm so... Back for more, I see! Are you impressed by my prowess in the arts of entertainment?
Today, I think, a king.
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. And look, well, I don't see why I should. Reginald and I have grown rather friendly, you know? And in any case, it'll be hard to pull myself away from this fantastic show.
Creamy blues and gory reds, that he ordered a contest across his realm. Today, I think, a king.
My
the
word!
Great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
My
it is
word!
Said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself.
My
that
word!
The king had a great thirst for colour. So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm. Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst.
Well, I guess it's been long enough since I've stretched my wings a bit, and it ain't so far of a flight now, is it? Maybe I will have a peek at what Cedric's up to over there.
Today, I think, a king.
Fantastic!
The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elba.
My word!
Performers, showmen, show all of them. Siseal, what you're made of. Oh, beer and flatulence.
Hey, it's you again! I don't have to tell you that Cedric's act will help you banish belly fat and inspire your kids to say no to drugs. Oh, I'm nothing but your average man taking it. I'm happy to laugh my head off at the finest show in Sicil as long as Cedric keeps paying me to say so. Oh, son of a ghoul. I mean, keeps performing these... Oh, wow.
This is well, I'll be a goblin's uncle. I hadn't the faintest clue there was another show over...
Quite the commotion of...
Well, I'll be a goblin's uncle.
Oh, that Gallagher is quite the performer. One of my own ilk. Sometimes all the flies need is a little honey, eh?
and things are certainly buzzing around here. Oh, just like old times. The rush, the thrill. What a delight. Please stay and enjoy the show, though you may.
This is the finest show in the land.
Come one, come all, and see the... Strange! You appear to be my own... I am Reginald the Illusionist. But I knew that fool could never have garnered so much as a guffaw on his own...
What? Where is everyone trotting off to? Don't they want to hear how the story ends?
All right.
Come on!
wow.
Come on! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
It's all over now. Without my clients, I'll starve. I'll be thrown into the cold. I'll have to sell my favorite silk underthings just to pay for firewood. This inbred fool of a... Who am I? Without a swelling crowd calling bravo. Don't speak that name in my presence. I'm certain he's either bewitched or bribed my crowd. There's an old saying in show business. If your benches are empty once, they'll be empty forever. Looks like old Reginald's reputation. It's all over now.
You there?
The
You look
best
like an actor
in
just
Sightseal!
waiting for his
The
big
best!
debut.
Enjoying the fair.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Patience, patience. Pleasure to me. It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered. Get on with it then.